Hey loves, welcome back to another video. If this is your first time, welcome. My name is Mira, and in today's video we're going to be doing another story time because it's been a while, you know, like I feel like now I'm just going to try my best to be giving you like a weekly vlog and a weekly story time, something like that. Okay, let me know. Okay, I'll girls talk. But anyway, in today's story time, this is like a semi, you know, sad story. It's not sad, just weird. So I'm going to try and diffuse it by eating as I talk. I got chicken wings from Gladys Market. Chef kiss, okay, chef kiss, and some slushy, blueberry slushy. It's weird, my tongue is probably blue. We're gonna go with the flow, okay? So without saying too much, let's get right into the video.
Take it slow, bring it back, let them know, bring it down to the flow.
So once upon a time, I'm not even sure what happened, but my dad got into bad business and lost like most of his money or all of his money. I don't know, at the time I don't know what happened, but I was too young to know. But all I remember is that my dad lost his money, and at the time my parents had separated already, so they were not together, right? So fast forward, when they broke up, I had to go live with my aunties for a bit. Now at that time, you guys, I'm not sure if I tell you exact stories. I feel like I've been telling you guys like yes the story, right? I'll tell you guys this one. But anyway, at the time, right, I was just like, I was a young girl, I was very small, maximum 6 years, I guess, 6, 7, maybe 8 years, maybe 8. I don't know, okay? I remember the stories, but I don't remember the dates because I had to delete most of these things from my brain. But basically, my dad and I had to move to Mira at the time. We had to move to like a different place. Back then we were living in Tamale, so we had to go to Mira and then live with my grandma, who's an Arab by the way, for a bit. We had to go live with my grandmother for a bit, right? Which was cool in the beginning because my aunties were all living with my grandmama as well. So when we were there, sometimes my dad would leave me and then go and hustle and come back. He would go and come back, go and come back. So basically, I moved from being like a rotten child who lived with her dad to someone who lived with all my aunties and all that. But my favorite auntie, may her soul rest in perfect peace, Auntie Mary, she was amazing. She loved me like her own child. She had never had her own child, but she loved me so much. She treated me like her own child. She like spoiled me blue black. But you know, no matter what, you can never like treat someone else's child like yours, right? At the time, my grandmother, who was supposed to be like my protector, was my protector for a while, just that things just went south or left. So fast forward, you know how like beating someone is just a thing in the north, it's just something that people do. Even now, African parents do not care. So fast forward, my dad had traveled to one of his business, whatever, to make money, like he always say. And I was living with my auntie. Now during this time that I was living with my auntie, like if I tell you that my life was hell, it was definitely hell, you guys. It was just straight up hell. Sorry guys, my battery died. But basically, you all know, like I always say this, when I was a kid I used to talk like something. I was a parrot, I was a snitch. I will snitch on your ass without thinking twice. So when I was with my auntie used to sell food. She used to sell gari and beans, and her sisters, whenever they like took something from there without paying or whatever, I'll snitch because they're about to put me in trouble. So I'll snitch, and because of that my aunties didn't like me. One of my aunties usually like steal some of her eggs or whatever, and I always make sure I tell, right? So it's like there was something there, like I was annoying. I was already a spoiled brat who was also snitching, so like I was annoying as hell. But fast forward, my auntie traveled, right? When my auntie traveled, it was just me, my grandmother, and my 2 other aunties, right? Now one of my aunties wasn't mentally stable. She was, I don't know what was wrong with her, but we just knew that she was kind of crazy. She was off and on. Sometimes she would just like wake up and just like go off. Maybe she was bipolar, because there were times that she would be very cool and there were times that she was just like off. At the time I didn't even know what bipolar was, so of course. Basically, Auntie Mary had to travel, right? At the time she came to Accra because she had to do something, and then she left me for a while, you guys. And I had never felt hell as bright as that. Before Auntie Mary left, like I used to do everything. Like she would send me to the market. Like I was a kid, you guys. Like I was just like around 9 to 10 years, but I was doing things a grown-up would do. Anyway, fast forward, when Auntie Mary left, it was just my grandmom and I. And you guys, all of a sudden, like everything just went south. Like I was getting beatings all the time. They would send you to like very far places. You have to like do extra work. Like you guys, it was just overwhelming. And I was only 10, right? So this particular day that my grandmom sent me to go to my auntie's place, Mary, my auntie Mary, who had traveled, she asked me to go to her place and get some stuff. I don't know, I don't remember what, but I was supposed to go get some stuff and come back. Now when I got to Auntie Mary's place, you guys, I had missed her so much, right? Oh my god, I hope I don't cry. I had missed her so much that you guys had to stop eating, because this is not a story I should be telling you, I swear. I had missed her so much that when I got to her place, as soon as I got to her room, I started crying. Like, I just took her clothes, one of her clothes, and then like I started crying. I was just crying like, why the hell do you have to go to Accra? Leave me alone, okay? Because like now I don't have my mommy here, I don't have my daddy here, and you are gone, and now I just feel like everyone is just beating me up and down. So I started crying, you guys. And at the time, I used to wake up at 4 a.m. I was only 10. I wake up at 4 a.m. I had to wash like stuff, like at the time, like we had like willy. I would get up and wash like inside the willy and set fire, like, and do all these things that a 10-year-old should not be doing. You guys, I had no business doing these things. I had no business being where I was at that time. It didn't make sense. Anyway, so I was very sad, and because of the things like I had also done the whole day, I was extremely tired, right? So while I was just there holding my auntie's thing and crying, I laid down small, like I was crying and I fell asleep. Tell me why I wake up and it's 4 a.m. And you guys, as soon as I woke up, I just knew that, oh, I'm done, I'm finished.
Blood must flow. Yeah, you.
But mind you, the place my auntie was living at that time was a compound house, right? So there were people who saw me come in the house, and then there were people who saw me leaving, right? There were people who saw that it was just me and all those things. So as soon as I woke up, I just knew that, oh my god, Samira, you're finished. Like, I just knew it. I didn't need anyone to tell me that, hey, you're done. I just knew that I was finished, right? But I was like, you know what? Maybe, just maybe, they'll believe me, because 10-year-old me can't hear. Like, what could I have been doing? So obviously, maybe they looked for me, they couldn't find me, whatever. They had been looking for me, so whatever. But it's an African home. What do you expect? So I think when I woke up and it was that late, I think I probably woke up around 2 or something like that, and I was like, I went back to bed, and I was like, okay, but I couldn't sleep. So in the morning, I went back home. At dawn, time I usually go, I went back home, and when I got back home, I gave them what they had sent me. I started telling my grandmom that, oh, this is what happened. When I went there, I was holding Auntie Mary's thing, I was tired, and I slept in the rest of it, and I fell asleep. And the house and everyone else in the house is my witness that I didn't go anywhere, you guys. Even me, I knew that was not gonna end well. I mean, there's no way I'm not gonna, but nothing could have prepared me for the beatings I got that day. Some of my scars are from that day, you guys. All my aunties plus my grandmother ganged up on me, a 10-year-old, and beat me to a pulp, you guys. They beat me so bad that like I had never felt as miserable for myself as I felt for myself that day, right? So right after that, you know, it has happened, right? But after that, I just knew that, you know what, I cannot be here. Like, I can't do it. I have to go to my mom. I have to look for my mom and go to her, because this is not it. Like, this cannot be it. At least that's what I told myself. So what I basically did was that after that, I started planning my escape, right? I was like, you know what, I gotta go. I gotta go.
I gotta go.
Mom, where you going? I got to go!
I gotta go look for my mom, because if my dad is not going to come. So from there, I just made up my mind that, you know what, I have to run. I have to leave this place at all costs. And I think they just knew, I don't know how, but like all of a sudden they stopped sending me to the market and everything, and each time they sent me, the money was too small to go. So those particular day that they sent me, and I knew that my mom was in Tamale, I knew where she was. Actually, I wasn't even sure. At 10 years old, I wasn't even sure. But I was like, you know what, I don't care, I'm just going. So what I did was that there was this particular day that they sent me to go to the market and buy some stuff. When I got to the market, you guys, I had like a basket with me. When I got to the market, I put the basket somewhere, and then I went to get a bus, right? But unfortunately for me, the money I had was not enough to get a bus, and I think the bus was kind of full too, something like that. And I had no intention of going back home. Like, it was like, you know what, if I don't get this bus, I have to find a way to go, because I'm not going back home. I just had no intention of going back home. So what I did was that while I was there, I saw this one of those trucks that usually carries cows and stuff like that. I saw one of those ones, right? And fortunately, there were market women who were getting into that one as well. So I was like, you know what, they will take my money, I gotta go. So I joined this one. I joined that with cows and everything in that truck. I joined it, you guys. Like I said, I was only 10. I was little, you guys. Tell me why as soon as I got into this truck, I went and sat somewhere and then a woman shouted at me, go, get up and go. You're gonna sit here, you're gonna sit down. Don't respect. And I move here, like everyone was shouting at me because apparently I was in their space, you guys. The truck was open, right? It's like one of those, I'll see if I can find a picture, but like one of those huge ones, you know, like the ones, if you live in Africa or if you know what I'm talking about. And it wasn't covered, right? So, and what I was wearing was just like a normal t-shirt with jeans. You guys, it was cold. It was flipping cold because the wind, everything, I think it even rained at a point, you guys. But fortunately for me, there was a woman in the truck who saw me. She was like, oh, I should come and sit by her, something like that, and then that kind of thing. But she didn't have anything to cover me as well. I think she covered me a bit, I'm not even sure, you guys. And unfortunately for me, the truck I got into was not going straight to Tamale, it was going to Yendi. But your girl was so desperate that I was just like, man, I do not care where I end up, just take me away. Anyway, we got to Yendi very late, I think somewhere around 9 to 10, which is late. Back then that was late in the north because like the streets are clean, no one is there, no one is out there. What are they doing outside? Anyway, we get there and the street was clean except this man who was selling tea. In the north, I don't know about this place, but like they sell tea and all those things just for people who are traveling to be able to get some. So when we got there, the woman who was in the car with me asked me where I was going to, because I didn't know where I was going to. I told her I was going to Tamale to look for my auntie and blah blah blah, my mom and whatever. And she was like, okay, she's gonna hand me over to the tea seller. So she sent me to this tea seller and she tells him that I'm trying to go to Tamale. Fortunately for me, the tea seller was like, at this time I'm not gonna get a bus to Tamale, right? However, I didn't have money. However, there's this card that usually comes inside Yendi to close lotto, like to close the lotto, like lottery. I didn't know how that works, to be honest. But like they used to come from Tamale to close the lottery, like of the day, every day they'll come and close it and then go back and come back, something like that. So it was like, okay, so they usually come and go. So he would speak to them and see if they can take me. Perfect. So while I was waiting, the man gave me some tea. I was shivering, so they gave me some tea. I drank that and I was sitting down till the lottery people came and they were going back. You guys, they were all men. I was the only female and a child. Hey God. You guys, I'm literally getting goosebumps. I wish I could show you guys. God anyway, this will take me like, are you sure you'll be able to go home? I'm like, I know my place, I know the place that I can go home to take me. This will take me. We got to Tamale at 2 a.m. you guys. And I had fallen asleep because I was tired, so I fell asleep, and then when I woke up, we're there. They were like, okay, we are at the central market, whatever. If we alight you here, can you go back home? I was like, yeah. And then I got down, you guys. But because I was still sleeping, right, I thought I knew the rules. Only people in Tamale will know this. I walked from the central market in Tamale all the way to how do I even show you guys? It's far. Like it's far. I walked all the way to from Central Market to around Gumani or something like that. Like I was, is it Gumani? Somewhere like I went through I don't even know the areas in Tamale anymore. But I went down, like it was far. I just walked I walked for ages, let me just put it that way, without getting to where I was going. I think we got to Tamale around 1 something because I got home around 2 something, right? You guys, everywhere was dark. Like at the time, now street lights are everywhere. At the time there were no street lights like that. It was dark, it was quiet and empty, and me, I was just walking, you guys, and I was sleepy too. So I walked and walked and walked and walked and walked, and I realized I knew I was wrong. And then you guys, to date, right, I don't know how I got to my auntie's door. I literally do not know how I got there. All I know is that I walked and walked and walked, and I ended up there, and I'm like, that was it, I'm here. Okay, what's he gonna do about it? So I got there and I started knocking on my auntie's door, which is so weird, you guys. Because I think before then I had only been to my auntie's place like once, and it was really like, I don't know how I got there. Okay, so if it's not God, like it has to be God. It just has to be God. It doesn't make sense if it's not God. Anyway, I got to this place and I knocked and knocked and knocked and knocked. My auntie heard, and she was also scared, but she was like, what the hell, who's here at this time of the night? It's like 2:02, who's there? And I was like, oh, it's me, Samira. And she's like, what are you doing here? And I'm like, I came, I ran away, I'm here. And at the time, I ran to my mom's side, right? On my mom's side, she was my favorite auntie because like she had been with me and my dad for a while. She was like, she used to love me. She's like, so I felt like I had run to my savior, you know? What happened afterwards? just gonna sip on this. But basically, that very night, I don't think these are the stories I should be sharing. This is the last time I'll share something like this. This is too personal. But basically, what happened was that after I got there, my auntie eventually came out, and at that night, she was like, okay, take off your clothes and go and sleep. And I went and slept. The next morning, thankfully, my mom was around. She wasn't at car, she was around. She came, she was like, what happened? They asked me. I told them I had marks and stuff. I was like, I'm not going back, okay? I'm not going. And funny enough, when I ran away, no one came looking for me. Like, they just left me. They just left me. Anyway, so I ended up at my grandmother's. I ended up at my auntie's place, and things didn't go as I thought they would. I thought I was coming to my savior, but it felt more like I went from frying pan to fire. Yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna end the story here because, man, the rest of the story, yeah, it's cold. Anyway, thank you guys so much for listening to the story time. I'm sorry if the story time is a bit dark and it's a bit, you know, sad. I just felt like, you know, I'll be telling you all about the men except like the personal stuff. This is how I hitchhicked. How do you say it? I don't remember. But anyway, this is how it happened, you guys. This is a story I never forget. This is a story I can never forget, and this is why I actually believe in God. Because, like I said earlier on, if I had not been God, you guys, I could have died that night. Anything could have happened. At the time that I was walking around, there were like these things called dwarfs and everything that used to like go into people, and people like used to go mad and stuff like that. All those things could have happened, but for some weird reason, none of these things happened. Like nothing happened to me. I miraculously got to my auntie's door, and I still do not know how I got there. Okay, and if it's not God, I don't know who it is. That's all I can say. That being said, you guys, pray, believe in God, because he be doing some magic. Okay, that man, he's got me. Man or woman, he's got me. Okay, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I was gonna say let me know if you want to hear the continuation, but I'm not sure if I can share that now. But you guys should let me know. Okay, let me know if this video gets like a fair amount of views. Maybe I might tell you guys another story. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in my next video. Until next time, I love you guys so much, and keep praying, okay? Because God does wonders. Bye.